Welcome to Bird Gang Nation Sports Talk. I'm your host, Bird Gang 31. Today, we have a very special guest, all-pro cornerback, Mr. Bobby Taylor. How you doing on the show today, my guy?
I'm good. How about yourself, my brother? How you doing?
Man, I'm doing blessed, man. I can't complain at all, man. It's another glorious day, and I woke up. That's all I care about.
Right, right.
So, how you been? How you been? How's life after football, man?
Oh, life is good. I'm blessed. I don't, I got my family's good. My kids are good. I don't have too many ailments as far as from playing, being too hurt. I mean, I have some cracks and pops when I walk through the house, but I mean, outside of that, I feel pretty good. So everything is good.
Right from that hit you put on Mr. Reggie Bush, right?
Hey man, I'm just trying to work. That's it. Just
Yeah,
trying to
man,
work.
that hit's always still going on. I mean, you see that hit everywhere still today. How you laid him out on that one. That was a good one. So what else you been watching the birds, been keeping up with us? How you like what you see so far?
I haven't saw much yet, just because with training camp just getting started. But
Mm-hmm.
I'm always keeping my ear to the street as far as what they're doing. I try to stay in contact with some folks up in that area. And I'm just looking forward. I mean, obviously it's a new regime. I mean, I hated
Mm-hmm.
Doug and my guy Deuce Staley leave.
Yeah.
Maybe the change probably will be good for them. But I mean, I'm still a Eagles fan through and through, and I'm rooting for him. I'm a big Jalen Hurts fan. He's from
Mm-hmm.
down this way, Texas, where I'm from, so I'm familiar with some of the things that he did in college, uh,
Mm-hmm.
Alabama and Oklahoma. So I'm like I said, I'm just looking forward to the season, just probably like how you are as well.
Oh yeah, man, I'm big excited, man. I can't wait to see Hurts do his thing this year. I like the coaching staff that came around. They seem like they're very energetic and they're teaching people fundamentals, getting everybody back to the square one to make sure we're ready to roll this year. So I can't complain, man. I can't complain. Tell me, man, when you got drafted, did you know you were going to be an Eagle?
No, I didn't. I mean, I just had an open mind, just because there's so many different things that can happen on draft day. And so I was just, sitting back, just waiting to get my name called. I mean, of course, you have your agent saying some different things, you have some analysts saying certain things. But for me personally, just because of, going to Notre Dame, talking to a lot of guys that, went into the draft before me,
Mm-hmm.
and some of the different stories that they would tell me, I knew that I just didn't have my sight set on one particular organization. And luckily, I think for the Eagles and for myself, I mean, I was drafted to go play there, and the rest is history.
Oh yeah, man. Oh yeah. What are some of your memories from your playing days that you really hold on to nowadays?
I probably, just my experience playing in Veterans Stadium. I think
Mm-hmm.
Veterans, I mean, it's torn down now, but I mean, Veterans Stadium was just notorious for the fans, the playing surface, and it was just a wild atmosphere. Being able to play in a stadium like that on a Sunday evening, I mean, it would just get, I mean, it would be rocking. Looking up in the old 700 level, I got to play with legends like Randall Cunningham, Ricky
Mm-hmm.
Waters. So just those experiences, those guys, watching them on television for so long, and then them embracing me as a rookie. I mean, that was something special.
Yeah, man. How was it playing with Randall? He's my favorite Eagle quarterback of all time, man. Was he a cool guy in the locker room? How
Oh
was
yeah,
he?
yeah, most definitely. I mean, Randall was cool. It was crazy. So my rookie year, we had Randall Cunningham was our starter.
Mm-hmm.
We had Rodney Pete as a background. He's a legend as well, in the pros and in college for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Then we had Ty Detmer.
I
You
remember that, man.
he's the former. He won the Heisman Trophy. He's from Texas as well. I'm pretty familiar with Ty and his little brother as well.
Coy. Yeah, I remember when Coy was backing up time.
Yeah, yes, for
Mm-hmm.
sure. So it's like to play with, like, three like very talented quarterbacks like that going against those guys in practice every day.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I had some bad days when I was a rookie, but it helped me. Once I became a starter during my rookie season.
What was the biggest change going from Notre Dame, a big college program, to the pros and the Eagles?
I mean, I would just say, man, the quarterbacks,
Mm-hmm.
because I mean, even if you have tight coverage, those guys could, fit a pass in a small window, and like
Mm-hmm.
really had to be like on your P's and Q's, and each one of them was so dynamic and different at the same time. And so, going against those guys in practice, it definitely helped me, and I think the other guys on our defense from what we were going to face on Sundays.
Mm-hmm.
It helped out a lot.
Nice, nice. So that would that be the biggest advice you would give a newcomer coming into the league this year? It's just what would that be?
Well, what I would probably say is, well, first and foremost, I think you just need to eliminate all distractions and get in your playbook,
Mm-hmm.
because when you play in the professionals, like, I mean, everybody is good, everybody is a hometown legend, hometown hero.
Mm-hmm.
If you're out there thinking about what you need to do, that's just going to make you a couple of steps slower. And so, first and foremost, eliminate whatever distractions you have around you. Get into the city, get settled in, and then
Mm-hmm.
get in that playbook. I mean, that's like very important. And then probably the next thing is that it's physical, playing in the NFL, but mentally, as far as watching film, learning how to watch film, break down film, being able to like recognize tendencies and things of that nature. Because I mean, watching film and being in the classroom, that's a big part of
Mm-hmm.
being professional, because we spent probably more time in meetings going over certain things, because as the season goes on, you can't be out there on the field beating up on each other.
Mm-hmm.
And so, you need to spend more time in the film room. And then when you go home, watch more film. And so those would probably be the couple of things that I would say that are very important when you're trying to make that transition.
Who was some of the toughest receivers you went against?
Man, toughest receivers, I'll probably say at the top, Michael Irvin with the Cowboys. I mean, because they had Troy Aikman. They had a great offensive line. Nate Newton, Eric Williams.
Mm-hmm.
Um, they had Emmitt Smith running the ball.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when our defensive coordinator would just go down all of the personnel that they had on offense, I mean, it was like crazy. I mean, it was crazy and like a nightmare at the same time, because it was our responsibility defensively to try to slow those guys down. And we knew we weren't going to stop them, but it was just like, can we slow them down? Can we maybe get some turnovers here? And then I would probably say Jerry Rice. I was able to go against Jerry a couple of times, early in my career. And actually, my last year in the league, when I was in Seattle, we signed Jerry, and we were actually on the same team.
Oh wow.
I'm trying to think who else. So Michael, Jerry, um, man, I think when you had those two, I mean, that's great. But let me say, so also T.O. got a chance to
Mm-hmm.
go against T.O. a couple of times. Um, my former Notre Dame alum, Rocket Ishmael. I got a chance.
Oh yeah, Rocket.
Yeah, matter of fact, Dallas had Rocket and Joey Galloway. Those are probably the two fastest receivers that I got a chance to play against at the same time, because I think both of those guys were like maybe 4'1" or 4'2", 40 guys.
Yeah.
So it was like a track. So it was like a track meet when we played against Rocket and Joey Galloway.
Oh yeah, man. Joey had that speed too. Yeah, like you said, they don't call him the Rocket for no reason, man. His brother was fast too. What they call a missile,
Yeah.
Quadri Ishmael. That's what it was back in those days. Yeah, man. That's good. That's good. So, have you seen any of the newer cornerbacks out there, and what's your impression of the way the cornerback game is being played right now?
I think there's some good corners out there. I mean, I know I'm a big fan. I'm a big Jalen Ramsey fan for the Rams.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I like Mika Fitzpatrick. I know he plays a lot of safety as well.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, he can go play corner. He can go play in the slot. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
those would probably be like my two top corners that I just really like watching. I mean, just from a technical standpoint, from how confident they are.
Mm-hmm.
They can play on both sides of the ball. It doesn't matter left corner, right corner. I mean, it's just like line me up. Excuse me, line me up on the receiver, and just let me go to work. And when you have talent like that,
Mm-hmm.
it makes everybody else's job on the defense. It makes the defensive coordinator job easier, as far as like schemes that they want to try to be able to run. Then also when Jalen Ramsey, he plays with probably the best defender in the game, Aaron Donald.
Oh yeah, makes his job a lot more easier, right?
Yeah. That's a hell of a combination right there.
Yeah, you had some good boys up line in the front too when you were playing, man.
Oh
You got
yeah.
some
Like you talked about off camera, my guy Corey Simon. He was one
mm-hmm.
of the linemen. We had Hugh Douglas. We had Big Hollis. We had Carlos Emmons up front, Ike Reese, Jeremiah Trotter. Man, we had
Trotter, man.
yeah,
Oh man, that
yeah,
was a beast right there. He laid that wood. He laid
yeah,
that wood.
absolutely. Yeah, that's that, just sitting back, being able to talk about that. I still stay in contact with a lot of those guys. And the good thing about it as well, it was like it wasn't a situation where we just worked together. Like,
Mm-hmm.
we spent time with each other's families, whether it was Thanksgiving, during Christmas,
Mm-hmm.
going out to dinner, going on trips and things of that nature. So I think that helped us out as well during that time when Andy and Jim Johnson was our defensive coordinator. That helped us as well because we didn't only just care for each other on the field, but off the field, and still being in contact with a lot of those guys to this day.
Family bond, man. Family bond. That's what football brings, man. I love that about football. Um, what made Jimmy Johnson's defense so awesome?
Man, I mean, Jim was like the mad scientist. I remember like my first my first contact with Jim. We obviously had fired Ray Rhodes, and Emmett Thomas was our defensive coordinator. And when Jim came in, for me personally, it wasn't just a happy marriage right off. I think
Mm,
I probably had some remorse as far as like the previous coaches getting fired
mm,
because when you aren't playing well and for whatever other reasons, like you are part as a player, you are part of why coaches get fired. And so this new regime came in, and we kind of myself and Jim, we kind of bumped heads, but after a couple of our mini camps, we just sat down and talked, and I saw his scheme. He talked about how he would use me. At the time, we were playing with like three corners: myself, Troy Vincent, and Al Harris.
mm-hmm.
A lot of our scheme, three of us was on the field at the same time. I would go inside and play in the nickel, and just seeing all of the things and just the crazy like blitzes he would come up with, like B Dog and myself. We just grew on each other, and we were able to develop like a great relationship. And the thing about Jim that I love was that even though he was set in his ways as far as things that he wanted to get done, he
Mm-hmm.
would he would come to us and say, "Hey, Bobby, hey, Troy, hey, Brian, what do you think about these calls? Do you guys have confidence in it? Do you want me to take it out of the game plan?" And
Mm-hmm.
he would like really listen to us. And so to have that type of trust with your coach, to where it wasn't a dictatorship, that was another reason how we were able to develop such a tight bond. And we would go out there and just try to lay it on the line for the guy.
Nice, man. Like you said, that was a very talented group there, man. How do you think you guys stacked up compared to the, you know, cornerbacks, our DB rooms that the Eagles had back in those days. Because we went through an era where we had a lot of good DBs come through Philadelphia. You know what I'm saying? Do you guys think you guys number one? I put you guys up there, man. I don't know too many cornerbacks that
Yeah,
duels.
I think so. We probably would rank right at the top. I mean, I remember the Andre Waters. I remember the Mark McMillans, the Eric Allens. I mean,
Allen.
Eric Allen, he actually left the year before I came there, and
Oh
he
man.
wore 21. They put me in 21 as well. Mark McMillan, who he played with Eric Allen, he kind of took me in as a big brother, and took me up under his wing and just showed me a lot of things as far as how to be a pro. But I think during our time, I mean, we had some bad
Hmm.
guys, and there was one year where myself, Troy, and Doc, all three of us made it to the Pro Bowl.
I
I was
remember that.
able to get like first team All Pro, and we had a lot of guys as well that came in and out of the lineup. And so, I would say I would say during that time, I think we probably had one of the better, or if not the best, secondary that the Eagles have ever had come through.
Okay, well, you know that we watch these clips all the time. The clip on you hitting Reggie. Can you tell us what defense it was? What were you thinking on the play? Like, give us a rundown of that play in
Yeah,
general. You,
you sure that was me, Reggie? You sure that was me? That wasn't Sheldon?
you hit Reggie, did you?
No, I think that may have been Sheldon. I think that may have been
Oh
Sheldon
man, my
Brown.
bad, man. My bad.
Yeah,
It was
that,
Sheldon.
yeah, that
Yeah, that
hit.
was a different
Yeah,
time. My
yeah.
bad. Eagle highlight messed up
But
in my
that's
head.
all good though, because I feel like because we drafted Sheldon.
Yeah, and
Uh,
Lito.
we drafted Lito in the same year. And
That.
so, we brought those guys in to welcome them with open arms,
Mm-hmm.
tried to give them as many pointers as we could as far as the things that we were doing. And then when we left, those guys carried on the tradition of, good defensive back play for the Eagles.
How was it when you left Philadelphia? Did you miss it? I remember talking to Corey about that. He said it wasn't the same when he went to like Indy and stuff like that. He kind of felt like he missed it, the
Oh yeah,
birds.
yeah. I missed it. That's the unfortunate part of the business. But at the same time, I mean, I was blessed enough to play in Philly for 9 years.
Mm-hmm.
I have peers that have played that every year they're changing teams. They're having to move
Mm-hmm.
families. Um, and so to not have to go through that and to be in one place, I mean, I don't have any complaints by that. I mean, the year that I left was the year that they also went to the Super Bowl. I felt like, maybe if myself, Troy would have still been on the team, maybe we could have gave the Eagles and especially the defense a stronger challenge when it came to playing against Tom and the Patriots. But that's neither here nor there. I mean, like I said, my 9 years in Philly, I mean, I don't have any complaints about it at all.
Yeah, that was a rough one, man. That was a rough one. I thought we had it too, man. I thought we were gonna get it then, man. But we got one, a little while back. Did you watch the game?
Oh yeah, yeah. I watched the
Were you
game.
there?
Actually, I was at the NFC Championship game when they beat Minnesota, and
Mm-hmm.
so I thought about going to Minnesota for the actual Super Bowl, but with the climate, the weather, I was like, man, I'm gonna just stay home, watch this. Um,
It gets cold over there, man.
yeah, with just a few people at the house, but I mean, I was happy. I felt like when they won the Super Bowl, I won as well. I mean, I
Right?
wasn't out there on the field, but I felt like I was invested. I mean, I knew Doug. Me and Doug Peterson, we played my rookie year in Philly.
Mm-hmm.
Not my rookie year, but when Andy's first year coaching
Oh yeah.
Philly, he
Mm-hmm.
brought Doug with him from Green Bay. So I mean, I knew all of those guys. I mean, I knew Deuce. At the time, Brian Dawkins, he was working with Howie and those guys in the front office.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I felt like I was a part of the family.
Did you think Doug got a fair shot? Did-
I mean, I don't know. I mean, listen, he brought a championship to Philly that
mhm,
would never be taken away from him. I'm not sure how many years he was there coaching, but in this business with the NFL, what it's saying, it stands for not for long, not
mhm,
National Football League in a lot of cases. And so, it is what it is. I'm pretty sure he's not bitter, uh,
mhm,
because he can always put his hand on the table and show that big ring, and
mhm.
that goes a long way, not just in the league, but definitely in Philadelphia.
When you played with him, did you see the coaching in him then,
Yeah,
or?
yeah, I did. I mean, you could see that was and guys just in our off time, whether we were eating lunch or traveling on the plane,
Mhm,
guys talk about maybe some of the things that they may be interested in doing when they finish playing. And
mhm,
one of the things I can remember vividly having a conversation with Doug, he wanted to just go back and coach high school football.
mhm,
He's from Louisiana, and he started that. And I guess with Andy, um, remembering him as a player, he brought him into the fold when he was in Kansas City, and the rest is history as far as his coaching career. But I think I did. I saw Doug possibly, doing it. I didn't know necessarily going to be that big. I mean, I'm happy. I'm happy. I'm happy it wasn't with another organization
mhm.
outside of being the Eagles and helping them win a championship.
Nice, nice. Yeah, man. I'm so happy we got that championship in there, man. So, how do you see our CBs on our team shaping up? Big play Slay. We just signed Nelson, and then we drafted a rookie in McPherson. Um, Give me a little scouting background. How you see those guys going?
I mean, the latter two that you mentioned, I probably couldn't give you much when it
Mm-hmm.
comes. I mean, I'm a Darius Slay fan. I remember him being out in Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, that organization hadn't been winning, so to be able to get him to come be a part of the Eagles, I know him and Fletcher Cox, I think, are former teammates from
Mm-hmm.
college,
Yeah.
and so I've always been a fan of his as far as him being able to play smaller guys, him being able to play bigger guys, the way that he's able to play the ball. And so when you have a staple like that,
Mm-hmm.
there's just so much that you can do defensively. And so I'm just a fan, period. uh,
Mm-hmm.
when it comes to the scouting part of it,
Mm-hmm.
I just stay away from that. But anytime the Eagles are playing, I'm rooting for them. I'm hoping that they're gonna win,
Yeah.
and that's what it is. Period.
How many wins you see us getting this year, big guy?
Man, with the extra game,
Right?
the NFC. I live in Texas now. From here, but I live here now as well. I'm in cowboy country. That's all they talking about is like, what they're gonna do, what they gonna win the East. The Cowboys are gonna win the East, and so I man, if I had to put a number on it, I mean, I would hope that they would be above 500 for sure. Um, when the season starts, of course, we all need luck.
Mm-hmm.
Just lucky, with the way the ball bounce. Hopefully the team doesn't get the injury bug. And just from watching the film, as far as different clips through the summer, the
Mm-hmm.
mini camps. I mean, guys look, very spirited out there playing, and practicing, and I'm just looking forward to it. So I what let's say 8, 9, like 9 wins, maybe 10 wins. Uh,
Okay.
you know what I'm saying? I mean, listen, our goal every year was to win our division.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure that's what their goal is as well. Because once you win the division, the sky can be the limit
Mm-hmm.
from there. And so, I'm pretty sure that that's their goal as well. And long as they can win the division, I don't care what the record
As
is.
long as they beat the Cowgirls, right? Do you still dislike the Cowboys or
Oh, yeah,
Texas?
absolutely. I mean, I want them to do more than just beat the Cowboys because
Mm-hmm.
there's been times where we beat the Cowboys when I was playing, and then we let some other team that we shouldn't have lost to.
Mm-hmm.
We lost to them. You know what I mean? And so I want them to do more than that, but definitely beat the Cowboys for sure. I
Did
mean,
you hate the Cowboys the most out of the division?
what I'm I wouldn't necessarily say hate,
Well,
but
yeah,
but
not.
but, but it's one of them things
Dis-
where it's like when that week came up, you treated it almost like it was a playoff,
Mhm.
just with how crisp you were in practice. And for me, I had family members that they were Bobby Taylor fans, but they weren't Philadelphia Eagles fans. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying? Being from Texas, and that was kind of crazy for me personally. Uh,
right.
and so, first, I made sure I didn't get those family members tickets. I know that for sure. But anytime I can get a victory against the Cowboys, go back home,
Hmm.
be in Dallas, and just you have a different pep in your step when that happens.
Yeah, man, the Cowboys. I bet you they hated seeing you walking around after a win, huh? They're like, look at this guy. He's all in our hometown, giving it to people,
Yeah,
giving it to
I'm,
people.
I'm pretty sure they had certain feelings, but during the '90s, I mean, what they won, what 2, 3 Super Bowls. They didn't have too much to be upset about. You know what I'm
Man,
saying?
was it like everybody see when you played the Cowboys? That line was just so massive that they just parted the sea. There was really nothing you can do about it.
Oh, I mean, it was tough because you got to think about when you think about Larry Allen, he's over 6 feet tall. Nate Newton, big Eric Williams,
Hmm.
and Jay Novacek, the big tight end, and then you had Emmitt Smith, who's obviously a Hall of Famer, but he's short and he's like he hide behind those guys, so it made it a little bit difficult as far as us being able to try to get to him. And I think we did a pretty good job because at worst, I think we split majority of the years that I was in Philly, um, and we played against the Cowboys, regardless of if we made it to the playoffs or won the division or not, or if they went on and went to the Super Bowl. And so to be able to, because like for example, my rookie year, I mean, we split with those guys. We had that debacle, I think we had like 2 or 3 fourth down plays that we had to
Hmm.
stop in Veterans Stadium, and then we had to play those guys. We beat the Detroit Lions in the wild card game for the playoffs, and then the next week we had to go to Dallas, and they ended up beating us in the playoffs. So, this is just a lot of history, when it comes to the Cowboys or Cowgirls, like you said.
Yeah, the Cowgirls, baby. My boy Richie said, did you know from the beginning that your fellow cornerback Troy Vincent was going to be so high in the NFL front office? Were you shocked if he ever became NFL commissioner? Would you be
Well,
shocked?
not at all. Just because Troy was always a leader in the locker room, he was our player rep he was our representative for the Eagles, for the NFLPA, and then he went on to become the president of the NFLPA. And so, I mean, he's always displayed those leadership qualities, and has always tried to embrace the younger guys and educate them about just the business of the NFL, just because it's not just a sport. I mean, it's a business as
Hmm.
well. And making sure guys pay attention when we have our union meetings and the reps will be coming in town and things of that nature. So to answer your question, like, no, I'm not surprised. And when it comes to the possibility of maybe one day becoming commissioner, I mean, I hope. I mean, I think he definitely when Roger. I mean, Roger has been doing a great job. Um, and whenever he decides to maybe retire, I mean, I would put Troy as on the top of the list as far as possibly maybe becoming NFL commissioner at one point.
Are you still affiliated with the NFL, or any coaching or anything like that right now?
Yeah, so I actually work with Troy now. So
Nah.
Troy, he's the executive vice president of football operations. So I consult with the league. I'm on our youth advisory board, and it's guys like Willie McGinnis, Michael Robinson. We had Chad Pennington before. We had Deion Sanders before he went on to coach at Jackson State University, and Mark Brunell, former quarterback, who is the quarterback coach now for the Detroit Lions.
Nice.
We work with all of those guys, just going around, just trying to educate, the youth and high school space, doing camps, doing speaking engagements. And so, yeah, I'm very involved. As a matter of fact, I'll be going to Canton, Ohio next week for Hall of Fame week. And there's a couple of panels that I'll be on just talking about youth and high school football. Being here in the state of Texas,
Mm-hmm.
football we probably play some of the best and most competitive high school football in the country. Universities are always coming into the state recruiting kids from Texas. And so, like I said, I'll be in Canton next week doing some camps as well there at the Hall of Fame. So, yeah, it keeps me busy. Keeps me sharp. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
always talking football, and just being able to give back to the game, to a game that gave me so much. It was
Mm-hmm.
able to get my college paid for, to go to Notre Dame, and different things of that nature. And so, yeah, I'm very involved right now.
Nice, nice, man. Are you gonna talk to Carmichael? You talk
Yeah,
to that?
I'm looking forward to seeing Big H.
Mm-hmm.
He was able to get that Hall of Fame, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
proud of him. Actually, Hurl was the player engagement director for the Eagles during my time while I was there. So, I have a great relationship with Hurl, and I look forward to seeing him next week. It'll be a fun time. It'll be work, but
Mm-hmm.
we're gonna have some fun too.
What do you think is a shake on Cunningham? Why he's not in the Hall of Fame there?
I'm not sure. I mean, I think Randall will possibly will be a Hall of Famer. I think Donovan is a Hall of Famer as well.
Mm-hmm.
And it's it's a voting process, and sometimes it may take a little bit longer. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
you just think about who was I think the receiver for the Drew Pearson for the Cowboys. It was
Mm-hmm.
like year. I mean, he was the original number 88. Before Michael Irvin, and a lot of those guys came behind him, and it was year after year after year. And I know that there was disappointment for him, and he
Mm-hmm.
openly showed that. And but then when he finally got that call, I mean, it was a special thing. And so I think Randall possibly will get if I had a vote, I would definitely vote for him.
Right. I think he should have been in already. That's my guy right there. You
Yeah.
still talk to him?
I haven't talked to Randall in a while. I'm pretty sure I may see him next week, because a lot of former players come back doing Hall of Fame weekend. I mean, it's kind of like a big family reunion for
Mm-hmm.
guys coming back, supporting our peers, celebrating our peers. And so, yeah, if he's there, I'll definitely look forward to spending some time with him.
Have you seen any young Bobby Taylors out there in Notre Dame?
At Notre Dame, nah, I'm not sure. Like, I mean, so I have three boys. My oldest is 17. He plays football. He plays corner. He's actually committed to go play at Texas A&M University. So,
Nice.
that's a
Congratulations,
blessing.
man.
I wouldn't, like, for example, for my kids personally, I don't know if I would even want them to follow and go to Notre Dame, just
No.
because of, the maybe some of the expectations for me, because I went there. I want them to carve their own path as far as whether they play ball or not. That
Mm-hmm.
doesn't matter. But if that's something that they want to do, I support that wholeheartedly.
Are you on the sidelines coaching them up during the game? Or are you more like in the crowd watching them from a distance?
Yeah, I like during the games, I like to enjoy the game. Now, when we practicing, and we doing workouts, because I do some training as well.
Mm-hmm.
Defensive back training specifically. But during the games, I'm not one of those parents that's like embarrassing your kid and all loud and crazy like that. I just like to chill, and I cheer for my not only my kid, but everybody else that's on the team as well. And I try to support the coaches Um, when I can, when they ask me certain things like, should we do this, should we do that? But for the most part, when it comes to game time, I like to be that parent I'm just supporting the kid. I'm supporting the kid.
Background.
Absolutely.
Maybe when he gets home, huh? Hey, you should have did this.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's only right. Once they get home, it's like, hey, I mean, that's what I'm here for.
Is he wearing the same number, or has he got his own thing going?
Yeah, he got his own thing. So my oldest, he's wearing number 3. My middle son, he just played flag football for the first time. He's 8. Then I have a 5-year-old. He hadn't played. He's only played basketball yet. And so
the middle one's a cornerback too.
My middle, I mean, he's more offensive. He like to run the ball. He's pretty fast. Yeah, he's faster than I was when I was 8 years old, and he did pretty good. I was pleasantly surprised. He did very well in his first season playing flag football.
My girl, Philly girl said, as a parent, are you concerned about the CTE? And did you learn?
Yeah, I'm not. No, I'm not concerned. I think. Get out of my shot. That's right there. But no, I'm not concerned about it. I think with the science that's been applied, the better equipment, and then the way that guys practice now. I mean, you just have just different things in place where, like, for example, when we would start training camp, like the first 3 days of practice, I mean, we were full pads, like morning and evening for 3 days straight. And now with the CBA and everything that's been in place through science, that doesn't happen anymore. And so there's just so much research that's been put in place as far as how guys get specific injuries, making sure the playing surfaces are the best that they can be. I mean, of course, the game is physical. I mean, it's a physical sport, but I think with all of the things that are in place, we just want to try to limit unnecessary risk in regards to the way guys practice. When you think about some of the drills like bull in the ring, the Oklahoma drill, a lot of those drills have been denounced. And so, I think with that being in place, you can see guys play longer careers, and then when their careers are over, they don't have a lot of those unfortunate head injuries.
Do you think the lack of contact in a lot of the early, like you say, training camps and stuff nowadays as opposed to before causes any more injuries?
No, I wouldn't say that. Because
I remember going back and we be hitting each other. That kind of gives you the callus. That kind of lets you get your nicks and bumps out of the way. So by the time the season got there, you're like more.
I mean, I think they hit. I think it's an acclimation process as far as the way that they ramp it up. In practice, as opposed to maybe not playing and going as hard in preseason. But the way that these guys train year round, and it seems like they're bigger, stronger, faster. I don't think that has any weight on it at all.
Would you rather have some of the equipment they have nowadays when you're playing?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, when you think about the science and the engineering, I mean, for example, every Super Bowl now they have a contest as far as innovators out there, as far as coming up with different, whether it's a helmet, a mouthpiece, padding, just things of that nature. And so, there's a lot of like money, time that goes into better equipment. Like I said, the better surfaces that you're able to play on. And I think it's cool. And to be able to play in, some of the futuristic type of equipment that these guys are able to play in. I mean, I think that's a good thing.
How's your body holding up? What, any Latin, lingering injuries still holding on there?
You can hear me walking through the house at nighttime when everything is quiet, as far as my knees popping from ACL surgery and things of that nature. But all in all, I mean, I'm blessed.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I have some bumps and bruises from some of the surgeries that I had, but I wouldn't change it for the world. Like I
Nice.
said, I was able to, have a good college career, a good professional career, play 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
That's a blessing. So I don't have anything to complain about.
Okay, well, I'm not gonna hold you up too much. I'm gonna give a couple more of these, and then we're gonna go with my last little question that I have for you. He says, Richie says your best memory under the legendary Jim Johnson, if you don't mind disclosure.
And the best memory, probably my best memory with Jim Johnson was, there were a lot of good memories, uh, but probably my best memory was the year I made All Pro and made it to
Mm-hmm.
the Pro Bowl, and then actually that year, the team that lost in the NFC Championship game, their coaching staff coached the team, and so
Mm-hmm.
we had all of our coaches coaching us that year. And so to spend that time, being around the pool, having a nice fruity drink with an umbrella in it, just talking about family, spending time with, him and his wife and his family. That was probably like my best time hanging out with Jim.
That was a lot of you guys that year, right?
Yeah, so we had myself, Donovan,
Mm-hmm.
Troy Vincent, Brian Dawkins, Hugh Douglas, Trey Thomas. Man, we had it was a haul. We had a
Yeah,
lot.
I remember that was like probably one of the most Pro
Yeah,
Bowls that year that we've had. That was
yeah,
awesome.
yeah. We had a haul
Um,
that year.
my boy Birdman says, "Are the fans too tough in Philadelphia?"
Um, I, I wouldn't say too tough. I think the reputation sometimes gets blown out of proportion, but I enjoyed the fans, right? I get it. The fans out there, they're Philly's a blue collar town, blue collar area.
Mm-hmm.
They want a tough team to go out there on the field, play hard, and do your best. And so, I didn't look at it as something that I hated or what have you. I loved it, regardless if they were cheering and
Booing.
sometimes they were booing as well. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? It's all good. Look, they pay their money to get in the stadium. If they wanted to cheer or boo, so be it. I think for me that was the thing that was funny would be, especially when in Veteran Stadium,
Mm-hmm.
where we would look up in the 700 level and they fighting, and that's crazy. And then
But
at the time they put a courthouse in the stadium
in the
because of
stadium.
in the stadium because of these bad actors. You know what I mean? And
Mm-hmm.
that was just crazy. That was crazy to me. And you probably had doctors and lawyers and teachers, having too much to drink, being at the game, fighting, and then somehow probably having to go into go to court
Like
at
the same day
yeah,
in
yeah.
the stadium.
That's how crazy it was. Look that up.
Well, I'm gonna look
Google,
that one up. That's a good one right there.
Google courtroom at the old Veteran Stadium, and you'll probably see
Whoa,
it probably has its own thread.
that is crazy, man. I didn't even know that. That's definitely a hidden gem right there. I did not know that,
Yeah,
man. So
absolutely.
what I like to do, because I know you got to get back to the family, is at the end of my shows, I like you to give me your all-time Eagles team.
Man, that's
Man,
I'm gonna try, right? Okay.
I'm gonna run it. I'm gonna break it down for you.
We gonna let's start with the defensive back since I'm a DB.
All right, we're gonna go. Give me
So
four DBs.
my all time, how many?
Give me four DBs.
I gotta put me in it.
Right.
Yeah, hey, listen, I'm putting myself in there.
All right.
I'm gonna put Brian Dawkins. You gotta put B,
Okay.
Hall of Famer. Um, I'll say Eric Allen,
Okay.
and then I'll probably say Troy. So
Troy.
myself, Troy, Eric Allen, Brian Dawkins.
Okay.
When it goes to defensive line,
Look, I have a red shirt, your shirt.
man, I never played with Reggie White, so I would have to say I would want to play DB, and Reggie White was on my D line.
Okay.
Man, who else? On the outside rush in, I would probably say I'll put Hugh on there.
Hugh Douglas. Nice.
And God bless the dead. What's my man name? Passed away. Jerome Brown.
Mm-hmm.
I watched film and saw how awesome he was.
Mm-hmm.
And so the other defensive end, I would say William Fuller. He was a veteran my rookie year.
Fuller.
Yeah, William Fuller, I would say. Linebackers, man, definitely Jeremiah Trotter.
Trotter, yeah.
Backer. Um, the other two linebackers, man, that's maybe like a Seth Joyner or somebody.
Self.
Um, Byron Evans, maybe as well, linebacker. So that would probably be my and I'm probably leaving out somebody. Somebody probably get mad at me if
It's
they.
your team, man. That's what I tell you, man. It's your
Yeah,
team. So no one can get mad about it. They're all right answers.
yeah, no,
They're
no.
all right answers.
Go to the offensive side, right?
Two quarterbacks. Who's starting? Who's backing them up?
Man, I would starting quarterback. I mean, it would have to be Randall or you know what? I'll probably say Donovan, just because I played more or longer. I only played 1 year. Hold on. Give me a minute. I played with my little one is going crazy.
Hey,
I played 1 year with Randall.
mm-hmm.
Donovan will be my starter, so there will be those two. Running back,
Give me three.
Deuce Staley,
Deuce.
Ricky Waters.
Ricky Waters, baby. Yeah.
And you know what? I would pick a change of pace. I would pick Charlie Garner. He was like a dog.
Honor. Yeah.
Yeah, I would probably say Chuck. Yeah,
That's
Chuck
a
was
debut right there. Garner never made the list.
Yeah. You know, and it's a lot of honorable mention. Brian Westbrook. You know, some other guys. But
yeah. Give me two tight ends.
Tight ends, my man. I'm gonna have to say Chad Lewis. He got to be on that list.
Mm-hmm.
Chad, we played together, and probably Ertz. I mean, I've liked what he brought to the table to the team. All of the years he's been out there.
Okay.
Yes, going to offensive line. Let me start with tackle. Man, I like franchise. I like big Jason Peters.
Ooh, Peters.
I think he'll probably be a Hall of Famer as well. Man, the other Trey Thomas, I would probably say Trey.
Okay.
The other tackle. Guard. Man, who would I pick as our guard? Man, I don't even know. I don't even know. I don't even know who I would pick as a guard.
Was Mayberry with you?
Maybe I'm G right. Yeah, Jay Mayberry, Jermaine. Yeah, Mayberry. Yep. I would. Yep. That would be a good pick.
Got Sean Andrews.
Yeah, I didn't play with Sean. I mean, I know he was there for a little while. But
he was a tackle, right? Did he play some guard too?
Man, listen, you put me to the test right now. I can't even remember that. But let's say center. Who would I probably say center, man?
Hank.
Who?
Fraley.
Hank Fraley. Yep, Honey Bun. We called him Honey Bun.
Honey Bun got a nickname.
Yeah, I think Hank is actually an offensive line coach in the league right now.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he's an offensive coach now in the league. So that's probably my team, right? Oh, and the kicker out, David Akers. I can't leave out special teams.
Akers, yeah.
David Akers be my kicker, and then punter, I would say Sean Landetta.
They just need some receivers. You've got the receivers.
I forgot the receivers.
Yeah, 4 of them guys.
Oh man, so Freddie Barnett, that's my guy.
Yeah, Barnett.
Freddie Barnett. I mean, I didn't play with T.O., but when T.O. was there, he was an Eagle. It's like he's a Hall of Famer. Can't go wrong with T.O. Man, if I had to name another receiver, who else? Man, I don't know.
What about D-Jax? D-Jax make your list?
Oh yeah, you know what? Yeah, you need a speedster, especially like the big plays that D Jack. I mean, what he since he's been in the league, he's had like what more 50 or 40-yard touchdowns than any other. Yeah, so yeah, D Jack. There we go. We good. We probably win the Super Bowl with that team.
What about Quick?
Mike Quick, too. Yeah, yep. Mike Quick, yep. I mean, I got a I got a good relationship.
That's the squad there, man. They definitely put
for
giving
sure.
people out some,
Yeah,
giving out some.
I would love to line up with that crew right there, especially you got the sheriff, you got Reggie White. Lord have mercy. I mean, we wouldn't have to cover long. We probably would cover for like maybe a half a second. The quarterback got to throw the ball quick. You know what I'm saying?
Well, hey man, thanks again for coming on the show. You know, we really appreciate that. Everybody, thanks for joining me today on BIRDGANG Nation Sports Talk. Hit that like, subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Everybody, thank Bobby Taylor for coming on again and spreading some words with us. We love you guys and keep doing what you do. Hopefully see you out there. You know, maybe you could be the next president, player personnel or something like that.
Hey, you never know, man. Keep doing what you're doing. Thanks for having me on.
All right, guys. Like I say, everybody, fly, Eagles, fly.
Hey, fly, Eagles, fly, baby.
Until next time, on BIRDGANG Nation Sports Talk, we out.
Yes, sir.